Now we are going to develop a video speed controller. That is, using this you can control the speed of your video and you can see the videos in different speeds. So this is the normal speed of the video, and if I move the slider towards this side, the speed will be increased as you see here. If I move again, the speed again increases, and if I move till the end, the speed is now twice the normal speed. Again, if I move the slider towards the left, the speed will be reduced like this, and it will be reduced as I move it towards the left, and if I move it to the left end, it will be stopped. That is, the speed is 0. So we are going to develop a speed controller like this, and for this we are going to use a jQueryUI slider. This is actually a jQueryUI slider, but I have customized the slider to change the look and feel of it. And you can have any video you want. You can control the speed of any video as you want. So let's develop the video speed controller from scratch. So I have created a basic web page. This is an HTML page, and I have changed the title to video speed controller. So let me show you the video files we are going to use. This is the HTML page, that is video speed controller, and I have some video files in the same folder. These are 1.mp4. This video we have already seen in our video speed controller. Okay. Then I have 2.mp4. This also we have seen in our video speed controller. And I have one more, that is 3.mp4. So we are going to use these video files in our video speed controller as the videos. Okay. Now we are going to use the HTML5 video element in this video speed controller application. So first let me add a div element for styling purpose with ID container. Then let me specify h2 as video speed controller. Then let me add the video tag, that is the video element with ID my video, and I want to play this automatically, so I'm going to use the autoplay attribute, and also I want to repeat it once it is over, because as you see here, these videos are just 8 seconds long or 11 seconds long. So I want to play these videos repeatedly even if it is over. So I can use the loop attribute for that purpose. Then within this I can use the source tag and specify the value of src to be, say, 1.mp4. That is the video we have in the same folder. Okay, so I'm just specifying the name of it, that is 1.mp4, and I can also specify the internet media type, and for this it is video/mp4. You can specify the type based on your video. Here it is an mp4 video, so I'm specifying video/mp4. So now we have the video, and let's see how it appears now. Let me refresh. We are seeing video speed controller and it is occupying the whole space of the window. Okay, so we need to style this a bit so that it will appear as we want. So let me style it. Let me add the style tag. Okay, and within this let me first style the container. So hash container, that is the main div element, and let me specify the width to be, say, 500 px, then height to be, say, 450 px. Let me set a border of 2 px solid purple, and let me also have a margin to centralize the div element, so 50 px auto. Next I need to style the heading. Let me specify the color to be purple itself, and let me align it to the center using text align center. Now let's see how it appears. Let me refresh. See, it is centered, but we haven't specified the width for this video. That is why it is occupying more space. So what we can do, within this video element itself, we can specify, let the width be say 400 because our total width is 500, right? So let me set the width like this, refresh, see it is appearing like this. Then what we want to do, we want to move it towards this side, right? So how we can do that? We can access this my video here. So hash my video, and the total width of the container is 500 and we have set the width of the video element to be 400. So if we set the margin left property to be 50, what will happen? It will look as aligned centered. Okay, and let me also put a border of 1px solid purple. Now let's see how it looks like now. Let me refresh. See, it is looking like this. Next, what we want to do, as you saw here, we want to have a slider and we want to customize the look and feel of the slider. So I have 3 GIF images. I will show you that as well. Background.gif. It is looking like this with 0x, 1.0x and 2.0x. Then I have a slider GIF. It looks like this. That is having lines like this. This is for 0, this is for 1 and this is for 2. And I also have a handle which will be used as a handle for our slider. So you can design more professional GIF images if you want. What I have done is I have created some PNG images and then converted it to GIF images using online converters. Okay, so you can design beautiful and professional backgrounds and sliders as you want using Photoshop. I'm not a professional Photoshop user, so I have made it very simple. So what I'm planning to do is I'm going to display this slider within this background and also position the handle accordingly. Okay, so within our code, let me add a div element after this video element, div. Let me specify its ID to be background, and within this div, let me add another div with ID speed because this is the speed slider. So I can specify speed slider, and I have to style these 2 div elements so that the slider will appear on the background. So how we can do that? Here, let me access the background div, and for it, let me specify the background. As the property is also having the same name like this, let me change this to ground. Okay, so hash ground. Here also, let me change this to ground. And for this, let me specify the background. How I can specify the background? You can not only specify the background color, but also you can specify the background image, background position, everything using this single CSS property. So for the background, I want to specify the URL and it is background.gif. I'm just specifying background.gif because this background.gif and this video speed controller lie in the same folder. Okay, and I also don't want to repeat it, so no repeat. Similarly for the slider, that is speed slider, I want to set the background. Let me copy this. Let me put a semicolon here, paste it here, and its name is slider.gif. Okay, so let me specify slider here. Now we have just specified the images, that is the background images to be displayed. Next we need to specify the width, height and properties like that. So let me check the width and height of this background. So let me get info, and its width and height is 307 and 79. So let me specify the width as 307 px and the height as 79 px. Okay, and also for the slider, let me check the width and height. This is slider. Let me get the info. It is 289 and 29. Okay, so here width to be 289 px and height to be 29 px. And for this, I have to specify the position to be relative, right? Why? It is within the background image. So let me specify the position to be relative. And now let's check whether we are seeing the item or not. Yes, we are able to see it, but it is not in the correct position, right? This should move to the center and this should move a bit down, and we need to style this a bit more. So we can do that. For the background, to move it to the center, I can specify margin 0px auto and see the difference. Let me refresh. Okay, now it is moved towards the center, right? The slider is now moved towards the center, but there should be some gap here and all. So we need to do some more styling. So let me have some padding for the background. Let me specify the padding to be 20 px and see the difference now. Let me refresh. Okay, now it has moved like this because now the padding is 20 px on all the sides. So I think we can adjust the padding like 20 px at the top, then 0 at the right, then 0 at the bottom, and some padding at the left hand side. So 4 px at the left hand side. And now let's see. Let me refresh. See, now it is appearing like this. Next, what we need to do, we need to style this slider a bit more. Let me move it a bit to this side. So let me use the left hand top property for that. So left, let me specify it as 4px, and also for the top, let me specify it as 4px. Okay, now let's see. Let me refresh. See, now it is appearing like this. But now there is no gap between the video as well as the background of our slider. So how we can add a space between these two elements? For the ground, instead of 0px, let me add it as 20px auto. So let me refresh. See, now there is some gap between the video element and the background of our slider. Now we are ready with the background as well as the slider, but we don't have the handle, that is the handle that we want to move. So if we make this speed slider a slider element now, what will happen? Let's see that. $speed slider. Let me make it a slider like dot slider. Okay, then what will happen? Let's see that. Let me refresh. See, it is appearing like this. So we don't want this blue border or this blue handle. So here for this speed slider, we can specify border to be none, so that the border will not appear. Let's see that. Let me refresh. See, the border is now not displayed. I also want to change this handle. So I have already saved a handle.gif image. This is the handle.gif. Okay, so I want to use that instead of this handle. So how I can do that? I can use the UI-slider-handle class if I want to customize the look of the handle. So the name of the class for this handle is UI-slider-handle. So it is within the speed slider, right? So #speed slider, then it is a class name. So dot UI-slider-handle, and I want to specify the background like this. So let me get the background, and it is handle.gif. So handle, and I also want to specify the width and height for this. So let me get the info. Width is 24 and 26. Okay, so here I can specify width to be 24 px and the height to be 26 px. Now let's see how it looks like. Let me save, refresh. See, it is appearing like this. I think we can move it a bit down. So I can use the top to be 1 px. Okay, And let me also specify border to be none. Why? Because as you saw here, we are seeing a blue border. So let me save this. Let me refresh. See, now it is looking like this. So now we are ready with the front end of our video speed controller. Next, what we want to do? We want to adjust the speed of this video based on the value of the slider. So now it is at 0, and if the user moves the slider to different positions, based on the value, the speed of the video should be controlled. So we are going to do it in the next lecture.